2-minute movie minute. 2-minute movie minute. 2-minute movie minute. Hello from 2 Expectations, it actually was not what I expected. I thought it'd be a little more action oriented. And I was pleasantly surprised. So it exceeded my expectations. Very well done so far.
He waits for what I say.
So, not having seen the trailer or not getting any idea of what the movie is about before the movie, you try to figure out the movie in the first few minutes, and then things turn dramatically, and then you understand what the movie is about. So, it was not what I expected.
This movie was not what I expected beforehand, but when I went into this movie, thinking it was going to be an apocalyptic movie, it was, but it was more an emotional one. Kind of like the movie, I think it's the name of the title of the movie is A Man and His Dog. I don't know if you ever saw that one before.
That should be the title of this movie.
Very similar, but it wasn't expected what it was, but I will tell you more in my review later.
Expectations of this movie? I had no idea what it was. And then when we went into the theater, the man told us it was kind of like Mad Max. I don't think it was like Mad Max. I don't know what I was really expecting, but I sure wasn't really expecting a movie about a man who loved his dog in a Western-style apocalypse. I would have to say, Chris, it's very different than what I was expecting.
My favorite scene in this movie is the one when he is in the hotel room, and that would be
Guy Pearce.
I'm
sorry. Robert Pattinson.
Twilight guy.
Right, Twilight guy. And he's pinned down in this room, and he sees an army man go by. And basically what happens is somebody knocks on the door, and he retaliates, and something happens. It's very emotional a little bit. That's my favorite scene.
My favorite scene in the movie is when the midget is shot. It is unexpected, and it sets the tone for the whole movie.
Favorite scene is whatever Travers didn't like. I did like the scene, yes, when the Twilight dude
Robert Pattinson
comes in. Yeah, Twilight dude comes in, and he wasn't used to killing, and he did something earlier which is really bad, which moved me. He killed somebody that you didn't expect. And then he comes in and just pows these like 3 army dudes, and he's like, I thought it was gonna be harder. That was probably one of my favorite scenes.
My favorite scene in this movie, I would have to say, was in the very beginning of the movie. It is probably the only real action sequence of the movie. Not that I'm that big of a fan of action, but it was almost amusing. There was a car chase, and then the car flipped over. Of course, nobody seemed to get hurt. But it was surprising, and it was done really well, and it was done with no volume. So you didn't really hear anything. It was a really interesting scene. So I like that scene in the beginning of the movie.
The overall impression of the movie is it's basically a movie which explores what happens when there are no rules. What do men do, and how do they impose their own view of what's right and what's wrong onto the environment around them. And it also brings into question the value of human life versus the value of canine life, if you will, and which, if one means anything more than another. That being said, it was a very slow-paced movie, and it could have been a little bit faster.
What's on your shirt, brother? I love it.
It's a mermaid from Cape Cod.
You mean if I went to Cape Cod, I could get her?
Indeed.
My overall impression of this movie is that when I walked in, knowing it was an apocalyptic movie, I did see some of the trailers. I thought there was going to be a little more action in this movie. But it's definitely more of a character-driven movie. Kind of like X-Men. But this was a character-driven movie. It was supposed to be, not what X-Men was. But anyway, besides the fact, overall, I thought it was a very well-written movie, very good acting. Some people might say it's a little too long, it might be a little too slow moving for you, but if you like stories that have little twists and turns in it, you got to kind of follow along to it. I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good.
Overall impression of the movie, I don't like saying bad things about movies, especially things that I may have not understood. I always feel that I'm not smart enough to understand what I'm supposed to understand.
Does that mean I'm smarter?
Anthony is far smarter than I am. You all heard that here. I enjoyed getting popcorn more than the movie. We chit-chatted during the movie. Two people left during the movie.
They did.
I actually was really impressed that I called that they were going to leave and not stay through the entire movie. The acting in this film is wonderful. Guy Pearce, Robert Pattinson are all fabulous.
Killer.
This is probably the best Robert Pattinson has ever been.
I agree.
So this could lead to maybe him doing other good things. However, this movie was a bit depressing. I was depressed. I'm depressed now. So I cannot say that I enjoyed it. My overall...
But you walked in depressed.
My overall impression is depression. So I would say that it was not a good overall look for me.
Okay.
Oh, overall impression. Very impressed by the movie. I loved it. It reminded me of Children of Men.
Ooh, yes.
Another
good one.
Very tragic, and dark. But man, it had a lot of emotions. It's a slow burn though, so you got to get used to it. You have to know that going in.
Very slow burn.
I was expecting like some kind of action, cheesy Twilight kind of guy that's trying to do okay acting, and I thought it was very phenomenal. And it was about like a human story, very much about humans, about changing, and about just the really good character development and great performances by a Twilight dude and, as usual, Guy Pearce. Very good. I liked it.
Yo, Ann, what time is it?
It's thumb time.
Show us your thumbs.
Oh, God.
I give it
Jesus.
2 thumbs up.
Why?
Very well done. Great acting. Slow burn, but solid story. I thought the script was fine. And they did a lot with a little.
You'd see it again?
On video. Very depressing.
Yeah,
Very
a lot.
depressing.
It is a depressing
Very
movie.
depressing.
Good.
2 thumbs up.
And
Bam!
cut it.
Make
Just
it
I'll cut it. Go.
All we're doing is thumbs.
2 thumbs. 2 thumbs down.
Oh, and the walk away real slow, and he's.
Show us your thumbs.
I give this movie. Wait for it.
Oh, it's going to be one of those middle
2
things.
thumbs up.
Whoa.
And I'm out.
He's outie.
Thumbs down for me.
Whoa.
Wow.
Big down.
Whoa.
Anthony gave thumbs up, but I assure you he will never see this movie again.
I'm
He did
buying
not
it
like it.
on DVD.
Nobody liked it. It's great acting. Don't see it. Stop hitting me with it. Stop.
2 minute movie.